Hey, hello guys, how are you doing? Hope you're all doing well. So, in this channel, I'm thinking to share some technical knowledge about Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Azure. Basically, the cloud solution I wanted to cover. So, it's a idea to share my knowledge to all of whosoever need to know this Microsoft 365 or whosoever wanted to learn Microsoft 365 from the beginning stage. So this technical videos I will be covering about Microsoft 365 and its services. What are the services is Microsoft 365 is offering? Once we done the Office 365 and services completely, then we will move on to the Microsoft Azure. So I hope this videos will give you some knowledge about this Microsoft 365 services and some use cases we going to be discussed on this channel and upcoming videos. So yes guys, so we'll start with the basics of Microsoft. So before we go into the Microsoft Cloud, I just wanted to give you the information about this cloud technologies. What are our cloud technologies available in market? I mean, there are top cloud service providers, I would say, because there are so many cloud services providers are available in the market. That we will be discussing in the upcoming slides. So this main agenda of this video is to cover basics of Microsoft Cloud and Microsoft Azure and Microsoft 365 services. How it does works, all the things, basic, very basic things we are going to talk about. So I believe the foundation should be very strong. So that's the reason I wanted to first start with the basics. So let's uh, go on to this discussion. So let me move on to the next slide. So this is the very first slide. Let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, as I told, there are so many cloud service providers available on the world. Like Microsoft Azure is one of the cloud service provider, and GCP and the GCP is from Google. So Google also is providing the cloud solution, and the same way AWS also is AWS something Amazon Web Services. This is the Amazon cloud solution. So the Amazon is providing these services. So the same way, these are all the top three cloud service providers dominating the cloud world. So there are some other service providers also there. There are some VM service providers also there. IBM also is providing some cloud solution. So there are so many small cloud services are sharing their cloud services. But on the top, I would say that these three are in the top of the cloud service providers. So we will be talking more detail about this Microsoft Azure, and we are not going to cover anything about GCP because GCP is completely the cloud solution. So we'll not be having much services we'll be getting from the Google compared to Microsoft Azure, because Microsoft Azure is giving very wide ranges of services that you can build your own infrastructure. You can build your organization on the Microsoft Azure itself without building any single hardware on your environment. But this GCP cloud and all, you may have to, there are some certain services which is provided by Microsoft, is not provided by GCP. And I personally gone through this Amazon Web Services, but the Amazon Web Services also does not provide that much security which Microsoft has with respect to the cloud technologies. Yeah, you can use them. There are various cloud services available, cloud solution available. There are some third party solutions available. You can integrate with the AWS, but that is not AWS is not giving inbuilt add-on security solutions along with this Microsoft, right? So they are having their own identity model, like to manage their users and access and all. But it's it's going to be very new for whosoever has not worked on this AD side and all. It will be very new for them, and I don't believe that these Amazon Web Services are giving the security at most what Microsoft Azure is giving. So Amazon Web Services is something they have to improve a lot of things, I believe. So I'm more worked on this Microsoft Azure, so I wanted to give idea about Azure. I never worked on this GCP, but I have some knowledge on AWS, so I'm just giving my thoughts on it. But it's completely up to you guys which services you wanted to use. But in this, in this technical discussion, I wanted to give information about Microsoft Azure and Microsoft 365, which is completely Microsoft Cloud Service. Okay, so these are all the top three dominating cloud service providers in the world. Let's move on to the next slide. So in this slide, Microsoft Azure. So the reason why I'm mentioning Microsoft Azure is they are naming it as Microsoft Azure. If it is a there is a cloud solution is provided by some organization, let's say for Google, they are call it as GCP, right? The same way AWS is called it as I mean Amazon is called it as AWS. So the same way Microsoft, it is called as Microsoft Azure. So under Microsoft Azure we have various components. So there is a infrastructure service. So Microsoft Azure Cloud Platform is providing a infrastructure service. We can call it as Azure Cloud Platform also. ACP, it's a Azure Cloud Platform. You can call it as ACP also. But for this demonstration, I mean this discussion, I just wanted to give make it a very simple everything. So that's the reason I just mentioned as Microsoft Azure. So in the Microsoft Azure, so the Microsoft Azure is completely infrastructure service. There you can create a multiple services, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. There are so many solutions they are giving on various platforms. Let's say IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Let's say for IaaS, you can build a virtual machines in this Azure cloud. Okay, the same way there are so many solutions available, and PaaS, the same way if you wanted to deploy any SQL DB server, right? So either you can go with the as service, IaaS service. So in this IaaS service, you can install the virtual machine. On top of the virtual machine, you can install the DB service. But Microsoft Azure itself is providing a PaaS solution, that is DB, SQL DB and Aramco DB. There are so many services there, platform as a service they are giving it. So the difference between infrastructure as a service and platform as a service is, infrastructure as a service means you can create an infrastructure on the Azure, you have to manage it, right? But in the when it comes to the platform as a service, they will give you the platform, they will manage the infrastructure of the particular platform what they given. Let's say for the DB, so the DB they will be taking care of the backend infrastructure. You no need to manage the backend infrastructure, the high availability, everything they will be managing from the backend. Okay, this software as a service is completely they will manage it. You have to just use their service. Let's say for Office 365 email, right? Office 365 Teams, all these things and all, they are providing us SaaS. So whatever the services which is fall under Microsoft 365, those are SaaS model, right? So let's move on to the next one, Microsoft 365. So in this upcoming videos, we will, as I told you, we will be covering only Microsoft 365. Then we will move on to the Azure. But it will take a lot of time because Microsoft 365 itself have so many solutions and services inside. Okay, so yes, in the Microsoft 365, so the Microsoft 365 itself is giving a directory service, like how we are having AD on premises. The same way they are giving a solution which is Azure AD, which is used to manage your users and groups and licenses, everything, accesses, everything you can be managed through this Azure AD. So basically Azure AD is a identity and access management solution here. Okay, uh, fine. So this can be integrated with your AD also, but that and all we will discuss in the upcoming videos. But to give you the idea, Azure AD is a cloud version of AD, but it's not look like Azure AD. I mean, it's not look like AD. There are, there are some option which is you cannot find in AD. You can find it in Azure AD, right? So, in short, Azure AD is doing the identity and access management work, right? So when you are purchasing any Office 365 plan, Azure AD will be given you as a free service, so you don't need to pay anything for this Azure AD. Okay, so and in this Azure AD you will be finding so many identity and access security solution. Let's say for if you wanted to uh, you know keep your privileged identity access holding admins or secure, and you wanted to restrict them to use the access particular time, and you wanted to allow them to log in based on the approval. So there are so many solutions they are giving based on the risk. You can block someone account based on a risk. You can ask some user account to perform the MFA. So these are all the things they are providing as part of a identity and access security solution, right? In the access security solution also they are giving the things like access reviews and all there, and PAM solution is there. Okay, PAM solution is something privileged access management. Okay, and MFA solution, that is also inbuilt with this Azure AD, but you may have to pay a separate amount for that. We will be discussing that things in the upcoming videos. So these are the things. There are so many identity and access security solution which is offered by Microsoft 365 along with Azure AD. But there are some security solution you have to buy some license. That is also we will discuss later on. And whenever you are buying this Office 365 plan, you'll be getting an office shoot along with it. You don't need to buy a separate office shoot. So earlier people were used to buy 2010, 2013, 2017 like that office licenses. But now onwards, like when you are choosing the Microsoft 365 solution for your organization, it basic even basic plan also it's giving you the access of office suite with at least online, so you can access a Word online on the browser itself like that. If you have some standard or premium level plans, then you will be getting the Word application, PowerPoint application. It's completely with the licensed version. It's you can be compliant with the Microsoft policy, as well as you can utilize the office suites, because even if you are using for a home also, you can go for Microsoft 360 where there are some plans available for home users. When you are purchasing the home license, that time also it comes with the office suite, so it's legal version, so it is licensed one, so it is not cracked or something like that. Okay, and apart from that, the Microsoft 365 also provide one more service that is called Intune. That's Intune is for device management. You can manage laptops, iOS devices, mobile, bring BYOD. It is called bring your own devices. So the users devices whosoever wanted to access their uh, organization resources also can be managed through Intune. So that's also we will be discuss on the later on videos. Okay, and the endpoint security solution. So in the endpoint security solution, the Microsoft 365 is offering, there are two type of solution. One is for Defender for endpoint, and another one is Defender for cloud. So the Defender for cloud is specifically for the servers, whereas this Defender for endpoint you can be utilized for your endpoints. Okay, so all these services are included in some of the licenses plan that we will address later on. Okay, just to give you the highlight what are all the various services Office 365 is offering. And email solution. So along with this Microsoft 365 plan, they are offering email solution. So I think any one of the business version you are buying, it will be providing you the email solution. Okay, so but there's a GCP and I think GCP will be provide that, but AWS I'm not sure whether they will have this email solution or not. But yeah, this Microsoft 365 is providing this email solution. Office, it is called Office 365 email or Exchange Online, we will call it. So the organization usually, deploying an Exchange server to provide mailbox access to the users. But in Office 365, in the services plan alone, they are providing these services, Exchange Online as a email solution. And for the collaboration, they are providing the solution, Microsoft Teams. This is for to interact with the people internally and externally. And this hammer is for your internal communication. You can, it's kind of a news feed you can post for your organization, something like that. But whereas the Microsoft Teams, you can use it for the collaboration and you can have the meetings over there and all. Yeah, so it's all, these are all a collaboration tool they are giving. And the cloud storage, when it comes to the cloud storage for each account, they are providing the OneDrive for each and every person who's holding the Microsoft 365 plans. They'll be getting OneDrive. So the OneDrive, they are offering 1 TB of storage, and that too is based on the license plan. Okay, and SharePoint. So additionally, you can enable the SharePoint also. SharePoint is like there is also cloud storage, but in the SharePoint you can collaborate your internal team members, and you can invite external users, let's say vendors and auditors, whosoever you want to interact, right? So this is also it will do. So and then we have the data security part. So the data security part, they are giving Microsoft information protection. So the Microsoft information protection makes sure your emails and your files are properly labeled, and it will be, given to the proper hands. So when you're accidentally sharing some information to someone, it has to be protected, right? So those kind of situations, this MIP and DLP and all will come in place. So there are so many solution Microsoft 365 is offering, but I haven't mentioned all of them here. Whatever it's come in my mind, I just mentioned here. But when we're discussing in the Office 365 services, we will discuss deeply about that things. So additionally, they are providing the CASB solution. The CASB solution is a cloud monitoring tool, we could say. Whosoever is accessing any of the application by using the Microsoft 365 account or Azure account, you can call it as. Okay, so any one of the user who is trying to access any of the application, it will be captured in this CASB. Okay, so the CASB, it's capturing everything, and based on the configuration you are doing in the CASB, it will take a action. It will allow or it will block the application. It will block you to upload some files on the external services such as blog, such as box, something like that. So those applications you can able to restrict by using the CASB solution. So these are all the very top level services, I would say, is offered by Microsoft. But there are some other solution also Microsoft is offering that we will be discussing one by one when we are going into the further level of discussion. Okay, coming to the next slide, Microsoft 365. So the Microsoft 365, how it will work is based on the licenses the Microsoft 365 will work. So there are some services licenses is there, like as I said, home license is there and business license is there. So the business licenses and enterprises licenses is for official users. Like if you are running an organization, you can go for any one of the licenses plan, either business license or enterprises license. And in the business license, I would say this is for a small organization. If you're running a small organization, and you can go for this business licenses. In this business license also, there are so many versions are available under that. So many plans are available under that business licenses. Basic business license, basic business license. Microsoft 365 basic, Microsoft 365 business, and Microsoft 365 premium. So all these three services providing some some additional solutions other than the above one. Let's say if you are purchasing for a basic, maybe they will be giving you only the uh, online version of Office. Like you can able to log into the Word in the browser only. You cannot log into the application, Word application. You cannot activate your Word application. But whereas in business, they will be providing that option. Additionally, they will be providing some SharePoint, all those things. So I will be sharing the link for these pages so you can compare what are all the difference between these licenses, right? So this is for a small organization. So if you're planning to start a small startup company, you can go any one of these business licenses based on your needs. So first you have to figure it out what are all the services plan ideally you need in your organization, right? And enterprise license is for the enterprise. So enterprises means there are some big organization, they may be having thousands of users, like 10,000 to 15,000, 20,000 users. So those organization, they'll be going for the enterprise licenses. So the enterprises licenses, you will be getting additional security options like the MFA, privileged identity access management, so all these things, MIP. Additionally, they'll be providing a security solution along with this enterprises licenses, right? And this E5 is the top level license, I would say, because if you are buying Microsoft E5 license, you will be getting all the services, top level security services provided by Microsoft 365, right? So the same way Microsoft F3 also one of the enterprise license is also, you can I will be sharing the links of both of these things in the description. You can go ahead and compare yourself on these licenses. And this Microsoft 365, as I said, this is work based on the licenses. So if you are purchasing home license, those services, what are the services they are providing on the home licenses, that only you can be accessible. The same way if you are purchasing for the business license, let's say if you are purchasing for the premium license, Microsoft 365 premium business license, so those premium whatever they have given, those services only you can able to utilize it, right? So that's what I said. Microsoft 365 services, its charges are based on the licenses. You no need to pay extra apart from that. Azure AD, whatever their solution they are giving, that is absolutely free. So all the things you have to do is, let's say if you are purchasing one number of premium license, it will be providing 5 users. Okay. So if you buy one count of minimum you can buy 5 users. Okay, if you buy one license pack, it will be utilized for 5 users. Okay, so the 5 users you can assign this license to the 5 users on the Azure AD, then they can leverage the policies or whatever the services they are provided by the Microsoft, that can be leveraged. Okay, whereas the Azure, as I said, if you remember on the previous slides, I have mentioned that Azure is an infrastructure service. It's a completely infrastructure service. So in that infrastructure service, it will be worked based on the usage. So it will be charged the amount based on the services or the resources. We will be using the term resources in Azure. You will get to know in coming lessons. So the charge is based on the resources you are creating and you are utilizing on the Azure. So this Azure, you have to create a subscription. So based on this subscription, under this subscription only, you will be creating those resources and VMs or SQL database, all those things you will be creating under the subscription only. So you can have multiple subscription under one Azure account, and you can have multiple resources under one subscription. I don't want to go in deep about this Azure part now, so let's concentrate only on Microsoft 365. Just to give you the idea, Microsoft 365 works based on the license, so it will charge us based on the license, and Azure, it will work based on the subscription you have to create, and the charges are based on the your usage. Pay as you go, there is a word pay as you go we will be using in Azure. So based on your usage, the amount will be charged. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Yes, so in the Microsoft 365, as I said, there are offering much more services. In coming to the automation point of view, you can use a Azure PowerShell. You can use a PowerShell, and there is a Cloud Shell option also available. to do the automation through the script and all, you can leverage this PowerShell. Azure PowerShell is available, and the same way Cloud Shell also available. So the Cloud Shell, you can directly run launch the PowerShell in your browser itself. You don't need to depend on your install your laptop PowerShell or your desktop PowerShell. So you can directly run the cumulets on the Cloud Shell itself. You don't need to install any module on it. You can directly run it. All you need is you have to create a storage account, because it will fetch the data from the storage only. Okay, so if you wanted to run some script, you have to first upload it into the storage account. From there it will pick and it will execute the script. Okay, so when come to the automation thing, so we can still utilize how we will be using for our on-premises AD to automate some task. The same thing we can still use in PowerShell and Cloud Shell as well, right? And there is a service they are providing for this automation, that is Power Automate. So the Power Automate is a service which is provided by Microsoft 365. Usually it will comes with all of the services plan. You can using this Power Automate to automate few things like that's also we will discuss. Okay, and when it comes to the monitoring tool, Microsoft is providing Azure Monitor, but the Azure Monitor is part of Azure solution. It's not comes under Microsoft 365, but we can still leverage this monitoring tool to send some logs and configure monitoring, some monitoring alert and all in the Microsoft 365 services. So the log collector. So the log collector we will using log analytics. So again, it is log analytics is something which is comes under Azure. It's not a Office 365 solution. So you can send the logs and you can store the logs wherever the logs comes from. Let's say the user logs or audit logs or some email logs, whatever the logs you wanted to store, you can send those logs to log analytics. Okay, so for this also you have to create a subscription, Azure subscription, and there you have to create a log analytics as a service. Once you create this log analytics, then you can integrate it. And technical support, so Microsoft is providing very easy and convenient technical support. You can directly create the ticket in your Microsoft portal itself. So you don't need to go on to the call and all. You just have to go to the, there is a option available on the admin center itself. So only admin can able to create the technical support tickets. You can go ahead and attach your errors, and you can select your priority of the ticket, I mean priority of the issue. Then the ticket will be assigned to the respective technical support team. So if you're individual person, if you don't have the premium support, then it will be going into the normal Microsoft technical support. They'll be taking their time, and they are not having that much SLA to fix your issues. It's completely free, so they'll be having their own time to fix the issues, and it will not convenient for enterprises like that. So for them, whoever is wanted a immediate solution from the Microsoft, they can go for the premium support. So the premium support, you may have to reach out to Microsoft, and they will allocate you the premium support partner and technical support manager and all, and they will guide you for any issues you will be facing on upcoming once you deployed the once you started using the Microsoft 365. If you are facing any issues, any priority issues are coming in, then this you can create a ticket, and you can additionally coordinate with the premium support people. They will help you to fix and address the issue on time. And service outage, so in Microsoft 365 they are having the health checkup option under the admin center. So you can go ahead and check daily basis what are the services is impacted due to various reasons. Maybe their data center might have impacted, or some other reason, power impact, whatever it might have happened in the backend. But Microsoft will keep you updated about the service outages happening on their service. Each and every service, if it is any outages has happened, they will be updating in the Office 365 admin portal itself. There you can go ahead and check it, right? And when it comes to the security and compliance solution, as I said, this role-based access, multi-factor authentication, those and all, it's they are offering as part of this Microsoft 365 solution. And as I said, again, it's based on the licenses plan what you are choosing. If you're go on E5, you'll be getting all these benefits. Okay, and audit logs for the complaints perspective. There are some complaints. There are some countries wanted to follow some complaints rule like HIPAA and personal information to not be exposed. Those things also can be met by this Office 365 solution. There is a separate portal is available for the compliance itself. There you can go ahead and make the compliance policies, retention policies, and compliance policies for the sensitive data. All these things you can create over there itself. Okay, so yeah, so these are all the services which is top level services, I would say, offered by Microsoft under the name of Microsoft 365. So yes, if you have any doubt on this, or if you think you wanted to discuss any other topic in this Microsoft 365 specifically, at the first place, then please let me know in the comment. And if you have any suggestion for me, that is also you can put it in the comment. I'll try to improve myself. Yeah, and you have any doubt, if I mention anything wrong in this video, that is also you can highlight it. I most welcome your comments, and I appreciate your effort on the observing those things. Thank you all. We'll see again in the next videos. I think in the next videos onwards, I'll be first start with the tour, Office 365 Admin Center tour and various Admin Center tours. Then we will go further on the internal components of the particular service, right? Thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye.